In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 19 essential skills every business analyst must have. So if you've been looking to get started as a business analyst, just try to see how many of these skills you have, and that can help you to know how ready you are. My name is Olumide. Let's get right into it. Don't forget that I teach business analysis. You can find some of my self-paced courses on businessanalysiscoach.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you for doing so. I really appreciate it. Now let's get right into it. The first skill we're going to talk about is understanding business needs. To do that, you need to understand the goals, the objectives of a project. You need to know what the project is all about and how that project came to be. So to do that, you must be able to conduct stakeholder interviews. You must be able to conduct workshops. You must be able to carry out brainstorming sessions and use similar techniques to uncover business needs. Another technique that every business analyst needs to master is documenting requirements. How to document requirements. In today's world, a lot of people use agile setups, so you would most likely be using tools like Jira to maintain your backlog, to develop and maintain your backlog. So knowing how to do that, but also how to frame those requirements, whether as user stories or in some other format, how to write them effectively. That is an essential skill for a business analyst. Another important technique that a business analyst must understand and must master is how to facilitate conversations between stakeholders. Don't forget that the business analyst is kind of like a bridge between the business side of the business and the technical side of the business. That means that the business analyst seeks not only to understand things from both perspectives, but to also ensure that both sides can communicate effectively, that they can talk and that their information is not lost. So this implies making sure that meetings happen, making sure that those meetings are on point, making sure that those meetings keep to the objectives and that what is needed from the meeting is gotten. It also involves managing expectations and keeping everyone aligned. Let's look at another technique that every business analyst needs to master, and that is performing gap analysis. What is a gap analysis? Well, a gap analysis is finding out the areas where there's a gap. And essentially, you have a gap because you're trying to move from here to there. You're trying to go from the as is to the to be. And in between those two places, there's something missing. There's something that you have to cross. That's the gap. So performing gap analysis is an important technique that a business analyst must master. You can do that using a number of visual tools, using a number of techniques, and it's an entire topic, but it is something that you must be able to do. Yet another technique that you must master as a business analyst is how to create use cases. Why are use cases important? Because they tell you the functional requirements. They help you to understand the functional requirements. They help you to understand the actors, the use cases, meaning how the actors are going to interact with the system and the types of interactions that you have within that system. So they're very important. A business analyst must have an excellent understanding of use cases. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I talked about how you can create use case diagrams. You can have a look. Another technique that you must master as a business analyst is how to create process models. Oh, you're going to need this a lot. You're going to need to understand how to create things like activity diagrams. And you would want to be able to use tools like Visio, like Lucidchart, or whatever works for you. It can also be draw.io. But very importantly, you must be able to model processes as a business analyst. You may use UML or you might use BPMN, but very importantly, you must be able to model processes as a business analyst. Let's look at another technique that you must master as a business analyst. That is performing data analysis. You can do that using SQL, using maybe some of the data visualization tools like Tableau, and so on. And at this point, let me put a bit of a side note. So a business analyst is not a data analyst. They are completely different roles. Business analysis is not so much about the quantitative use of data. It's much more qualitative in nature. So even though I said that you must master data analysis, I would say that that kind of depends on the organization. I wouldn't put it as the most important thing to look out for. I think the most important point is having enough of an understanding of data to be able to make and to guide informed decisions. But I wouldn't put it as one of the most essential business analysis skill sets, because business analysis in itself is not so much about that. Another technique that you must master as a business analyst is how to perform stakeholder analysis. So you want to know your stakeholders, who are essentially the people that are affected by or who have an interest in a project. So you want to be able to perform stakeholder analysis. You might use techniques like RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. I believe I've made a video about that. Check it out on my channel. I'll put a link to it in the description section. Yet another technique that a business analyst must understand and must master is elicitation. Eliciting requirements effectively. And how do you do that? You make use of a wide range of techniques like workshops, like interviews, like focus group discussions, and so on. There are so many methods that can be used for this. Requirements elicitation is a part of what is known as the requirements engineering framework. A business analyst must also be able to define and prioritize requirements. Prioritization is very important. Prioritization determines what you need to do now, or what you need to do and when you need to do it. So one of the techniques that is commonly used for this is MOSCO: must have, should have, could have, and wouldn't have. And this helps to determine the features that must go into the very next iteration, the ones that we can delay till a latter iteration, and the ones that we need to strike out completely. Before I go on to the next point, don't forget that I have online courses on business analysis that you can take. They can help you get started in the industry. They can help you improve yourself. Just head over to businessanalysiscoach.com and you'll be glad you did. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get more of my videos, and leave a like, leave a comment. Do so right now. A business analyst should also understand about validating and verifying requirements. Here you're looking at the requirements and you're ensuring that they are accurate, but you're also ensuring that they are feasible. Okay, so you do that in line with the relevant stakeholders. You examine those requirements and then you validate them. You review them, you ensure that they are well aligned to business goals. Something you'd also need to understand as a business analyst is how to manage change requirements. Changes come up all the time. Changes are constant. The updates, the modifications to the project scope, to project requirements will always happen, but you need to know what to do when they do happen. So creating a change request log and using that to track, to analyze the impact of the change, to manage the change. It's very important. As a business analyst, you must be able to do that. Another important technique, and this one is very important, that you must master as a business analyst is how to wireframe or how to prototype. Essentially, what this implies is that you're creating like a demo. You're creating a visual of what the product is going to be like. And this can be very useful for understanding the product features, understanding the requirements, and ensuring that the stakeholders are all in agreement, ensuring that what they have in mind is what is actually being done. You don't use tools like Figma, like Axure or Balsamiq and similar tools to do this. A business analyst must also be able to collaborate with development teams. A business analyst must be able to work with the development team. This is very important because perhaps the most important thing that a BA does is to translate the requirements from the business stakeholders into technical specifications that developers can work with. And this implies that the BA must be ready and must be able to communicate, to work hand in hand with the development team so that they can understand those requirements, so that they can build the right things, so that there is no gap in communication or in understanding. In an agile environment, that might imply being involved in sprint planning, being involved in the stand-ups, being involved in backlog refinement and things like that. Let's also look at user acceptance testing. This is a very important one. It is carried out before the product is released. It is done to ensure that that product meets the requirements of the users, that the users are able to use it and that it syncs with them. Okay, that's why it is user acceptance testing. To do this, you must be able to design test cases and run testing sessions with the relevant stakeholders. You must be able to collect the needed feedback so that that can be used to improve the product before it is released. Yet another technique that a business analyst should understand and should be able to use effectively is carrying out root cause analysis. Okay, so as a business analyst, you want to understand the actual reason behind a problem, the actual origin or the actual cause of a problem. That's because if you're treating the symptoms, you might end up not solving the problem and it's going to keep occurring again. So you want to carry out root cause analysis. One of the techniques to do this is to use what is called the 5 whys, where essentially you're asking why until you get to the root cause. You can also use fishbone diagrams. Essentially, you're doing this because you don't want to be treating the symptoms. You want to get to the root cause so that you tackle the problem effectively. A business analyst must also be able to communicate insights effectively. A business analyst must be able to present the insights using slides, using dashboards, using data where necessary, and must be able to ensure that stakeholders have a good understanding of whatever is being presented. So ease of presentation and the use of the necessary tools to present effectively. That skill is crucial for a business analyst. You must be able to translate technical information or information that is heavily data-driven. You must be able to present it in simple formats that stakeholders can understand very well. And a business analyst must be able to monitor and measure project success. There is no point carrying out a project if you're not going to measure its effectiveness. You need to know that what you're doing is working or has worked. You must be able to see how it has solved the problems that made it come up in the first case. To do that, you use KPIs, key performance indicators, and you track them using tools like Google Analytics, like different performance dashboards. You can show them using tools like Power BI. And it is crucial for a business analyst to stay updated with industry trends. So a business analyst should belong to a professional association like BCS, the British Computer Society, or maybe IBA, the International Institute of Business Analysis, Why is this important? Because being around the right people can help you to stay updated with what is going on in the industry. You keep engaging with the industry, and that way you're not outdated. But it can also help for things like getting a job, switching your job, and several things like that. So it is definitely essential for a business analyst to be in the right industry associations. So that is it. Those are 19 essential techniques. Well, I'm not sure technique is the perfect word, but 19 essential techniques or skills or things that business analysts must know or must do or must be able to do. If you are able to do all of those, then you know that you are truly ready for a business analysis journey, or you've already even mastered it to a significant level. My name is Olumide Adeleye. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment. And if you would like to learn business analysis, I have different courses that you can take advantage of. Just head over to businessanalysiscoach.com and you'd find my courses right there. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next video.